course. So how you boys been since the last table talk?
You sound like a fucking old coworker. So how you boys been? I haven't talked to you in a long time.
How's the family? Mom's still
how's the
dead?
family? Mom is still no longer with us.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I really don't. I think there's something we need to discuss here. You noticed that Seth had coconut water in our fridge.
Yeah, I did. I seen that, and he had an odd explanation. Seth, you want to
Now,
share it?
I noticed it was in there for a while, so I just assumed he was gradually going to drink it, like actually sit down and have finish it.
I do gradually swish it around in the mouth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What
It's
for?
good for you.
For your mouth?
Yeah, it's
what
good
way?
for you. It's more healthy than Listerine. Apparently, it kills lots of bacteria and it keeps your mouth nice and supple.
Okay. And what's in that cup right there that you're consuming?
Well, that's whiskey.
Oh,
do you ever think that you could since probably 1905 you could use like Listerine or something?
jeez, can't take you out, eh?
Dude, I don't know what's going on right now.
an
I'm
absolute
checking my
mess.
mic. I'm checking my whiskey.
We've had him hostage since the last episode. We just let him out.
Haven't fed him either.
Oh.
Camp, you notice?
just coconut water.
His eyes are kind of sunk in.
Oh,
Yeah. You thought I looked on.
Now, are you drinking it after you
Never.
swish it?
Never.
Okay, you swish it and then spit it out.
Spit it out like Listerine.
Thank God.
I spit it out like Listerine.
Thank God. I had a feeling you were
Oh, he swishes.
gargling it and then swallowing it.
Oh God.
Checks out.
Like a pro, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a pro.
Like a pro.
Like the influencer you are. You ever think about question for you, man?
Yeah.
You ever think about starting an OF?
OnlyFans.
Don't say that on here.
I'm gonna. That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. You ever think about it?
No.
Maybe making some content on the
I
side.
know a lot of people that
You subscribe to?
have something. Yeah. I'm subscribed to about 200 people.
I know a lot of people.
That's where all my rent's the only thing I can pay. The rest goes to OnlyFans.
Yeah, that'd be rough.
It's where he's got you just auto depositing out of the account just so he knows he's getting paid.
There's like 4 or 5 auto deposits. So there's 1 goes to Torrie and 4 goes to
Susie,
whoever else.
Tiffany, and Jennifer, and
Jess.
fucking Bella Hadid. Who knows?
oh damn, by name too. Dang, does she have an OnlyFans?
I never found Bella Hadid hot though. Have you? Did you?
She's got like a high fashion hot, you know?
Who is Bella
No,
Hadid?
I wouldn't know. She's a model.
Okay.
She's high fashion hot. There's a difference between regular hot and high fashion hot. And the difference is the high fashion hot is a little bit more of a I'm gonna
Like
explain it in
corpse look.
Yeah, it's like buying like $50 whiskey and $30 whiskey. They both taste pretty much the same. Just one's more expensive and looks a little bit nicer.
You think
Looks a little bit more eclectic.
what looks nicer? Like which one? What are you comparing the nicer to in terms from the whiskey to the model?
Like clothing style or like physical appearance?
Just overall.
Really?
Like nice whiskey is dressed up in a nice, like, sometimes they have like that red wax seal on the bottle.
Maker's Mark,
and it's
yeah.
like it's very nice looking. And like the whiskey still tastes the same.
Okay.
Then you got your spiced rum, Jack and whatever, and it still tastes the same. It just looks a little bit less. It looks a little.
I think
bit
what you're
shittier.
trying to say is like there's a new Honda Civic which will get you to work and very reliable, and then you could also drive a Lamborghini
And guess
that would
what?
also
They're
get you to
both-
work.
Yeah,
they're
but
both getting you to work.
I'm trying to figure out which one's the Lambo and which, like, in your comparison, which one's the Lambo and which one's the Honda Civic. Like, is the supermodel the Lambo?
Yeah,
Really?
Right.
That's not how I
All
would
right.
have done that. But
yeah, but they got nothing up there. I'll tell you that.
Up
They-
where?
In the fucking mind.
Oh, all right. Clear.
Oh,
Thanks, man.
I mean, it's maybe
I was
something
with
to do,
you.
but
I was with you.
who knows? One day.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't like them anyways. It's not that they would never talk to me. It's just that not interested, even if they
Yeah.
tried. So don't quit sliding in my DMs, supermodels.
You're not getting anything.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Now, do you think that because when I look at supermodels, it looks to me like they don't talk a lot.
They do.
Like in
No,
general.
but in general, they look like they don't know how to talk.
well, like if you're talking like this and like we're gonna go have a drink and let's have a drink. Yeah, let's fucking have a drink. Like,
Are you a supermodel, dude?
like that? They talk like that. Like if that's what you want to get into, if you want to open that book up, you
Really?
can open that book up.
Really?
Dang.
But you agree, like they don't look like they know how to talk.
They look like yeah, they kind of remind me of like animals that have been kept in a pen too long.
Yeah.
They don't know how to like
They coexist in society. Yeah.
Like if some adversity showed up, it'd be rough.
Yeah.
Things would be rough.
Yeah.
Or if they ran out of Coke.
Yes.
Yeah. Probably the second
But
one.
I know a few people like that locally too. So I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they ain't supermodels. I'll tell you that for sure.
Not yet. A couple more things of Coke, they might be there.
And they sure are super though.
Yeah.
They're Super Saiyan. They go Super Saiyan, baby. No, yeah. They're a different breed.
Are you?
I'm not interested.
Do you like? How do you navigate that in terms of your industry? Like, is there the opposite, like kind of the more normal or more attractive looking people?
More normal.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of people in the industry have an ego, and that's not normal to me. Like none of my friends have egos, or like anybody that.
Oh, really?
Welcome to Thic and
really?
Fit, baby.
Yeah. Have you not met us?
You want to hurt our feelings? say something personal.
Spit on me.
Tell them to bark.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really like there's a lot of ego that goes on in that scene,
Yeah.
and it's like even if you like, I know some people that have come from nothing, but like since they have like a certain number of followers now and they have like this good business that's going, they gain like this type of ego, and I just can't connect with that. I don't think I'll ever get to that point.
Sounds like you are at that point by like condescending and putting things in other people's mouths. You haven't really met them.
Yeah.
I have met them.
All of them?
Not all of them, but I've met some of them.
And
I'll make a generalization. Sure.
Okay.
I don't,
That's
There we go.
fair.
I don't
There we go.
care.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
that's good. That's good. We're past 5 minutes, so you can swear now.
Yeah.
One question I did want to touch on with you guys. So I went to Winnipeg today, and the roads were icy. Bit of a stressful drive there. On the way back, roads were still icy, not as icy, but still stressful. So what I did is I cranked Creed because I thought if I get to the pearly gates, this is going to be like
How
good
you're gonna
intro
do it.
music,
Yeah.
probably going to get me in a little bit better. But I thought to myself, now Creed is like blown up, right? And like the early 2000s dad rock music is huge. What's your guys' thoughts on that? Like, is it
what?
like
Yeah, it's
the
big.
full circle?
Yeah, it's come full circle for
Do
sure.
you like it?
Yeah, of course I
yeah?
love Creed. Why wouldn't I like it?
I don't know. Some people I don't think do. You know,
They don't
you
like
got-
it that because it's mainstream now?
You got Doja Cat on one side,
Yeah.
and you got 3 Doors Down on the other side.
Okay.
What are you going to?
I'm going to walk that cat 3 doors down. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Seth?
Welcome to Trend, Trash, or Timeless. Today, we're talking about... It's timeless.
Dang, you're good
It's
at
just timeless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also find that like bands and niches will skip a generation
Yeah, it does. Hey,
like completely.
and what do you think? Like, do you think we like it because we heard it growing up?
Well, maybe you did.
I heard it growing up. Yeah, camping with like a friend of mine. His dad just CD baby,
Yeah.
and oddly enough, Creed and Enrique Iglesias.
Enrique.
Yeah, which is
Really?
absolute bangers. But I have seen his live stuff.
You seen him humping the stage and shit?
It's quite the performance.
Circus du Soleil.
Deuce.
Yeah. Circus du Soleil.
Tres Soleil.
What is it not Circus du Soleil?
Di Soleil.
There I am.
But you
There
can-
I go again, making up those words.
You can mix Spanish and French. That's fine.
Isn't-
They don't mind.
Circus du Soleil is French, though,
You
right?
just fart.
No, I did not fart.
I think it's duh.
I did not fart.
I think it's Cirque
Did
du
you hear
Soleil.
something? I did not fart. I swear to
You
God.
need to stop.
I did not fart.
You need to
I
stop.
did not fart.
Seth, did you hear it?
Yeah, I did hear that.
That's probably my chair. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I just I did not fart.
I'm sure.
I did not fart, you guys.
Yeah, nice.
You would smell it.
Always.
I would
Yeah,
not.
you know what? You know what it smelled like too? It smelled like coffee. Dude, on my life, all his shit smelled like coffee.
That sounds awesome, dude.
That's a good thing.
If-
Yeah.
It's ruined for me.
Coffee?
It's
or
rude.
I walked into a coffee shop and I'm like, fuck, it smells like shit in here.
Torrie, you in here? Torrie's just sitting in the back corner. What happens if you go to a coffee shop with Torrie and he farts? Then what?
My shit smell like coffee.
Yes.
Should I get that looked at?
Well, I don't know. I think it's just a mixture of
Oh, someone definitely.
like if they.
No, I did not fart.
absolutely do.
It would. It was probably the chair. Come on, Pelle. I did not fart. Why do you blame that shit on me? You're like, did you fart? You looked right at me. You just assumed it was me.
Well,
Is it because I'm overweight?
You look like you'd be the guy.
Is it because I'm overweight? The fat guy's gonna be the one that farts, dude? No one else fucking farts?
No, because I could hear it.
No, I
And
did
you're
not
next to
fart.
me.
I did not fucking fart.
It has nothing to do with your weight, man. Shit.
Fuck, I did not fart.
Okay, Torrie didn't fart, you guys.
Jeez.
It was me the whole time.
No, sure.
I don't smell anything.
I don't either. It's fine.
You fucking bitch.
Must have been someone else.
Fuck, yeah. Season of the sticks, baby.
So you guys like this comeback of like the vintage stuff and everything, like from the early 2000s, because that's where I feel like it's at now, eh? Like 2000 to 2005. Would you say?
Yeah.
Do you think Flow Rida's coming back soon?
Yes.
Is he the next phase?
100%.
Flow Rida,
It's that
Timbaland,
Y2K rap that's gonna come back.
Well,
Akon,
isn't it coming back with fashion too?
Yes.
Ja Rule.
Yeah, Ja Rule could definitely come back for sure.
Is he-
DMX as well, if
We
he
just
ever
spent
wants
the
to.
whole evening listening to what's his name that sung with Justin Bieber on that song.
Oh, Sean Kingston.
John Kingston.
You're so beautiful, girl.
Those songs smack, dude.
They do.
Unreal.
Was it? Is DMX not dead?
He is dead. Yeah.
And you were waiting for him to come back?
Yeah, he's gonna come back. Yeah. Rough Rider.
Him and Ja Rule are pretty close, eh?
Were they? Like as friends? Or
No,
like,
no,
in,
just
just
in
like
sound.
genre. Yeah, in
Yeah,
sound.
like-
Yeah. Yeah, they were. Yeah.
You could hear one of their noises that they like their ad libs. They're
Yeah.
and you could be like that could be Ja Rule or that could be DMX.
Yeah.
Could be anybody
For sure. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Oh, I like it. I like that the old stuff is coming back, and I think it's also coming back in like country. You know,
I wish I could stop
like
touching this.
there was a time period where country was like very modern, like Florida Georgia Line. I'm
Bryan.
not saying I love Florida Georgia Line. And I love Luke Bryan, but like it's getting back to the roots where it's kind of like more Johnny Cash and more like blues almost. It's really nice. I like it.
I agree. I do not like
Now-
Florida Georgia Line.
No, I hate Florida Georgia Line. God. Now, would you say it's just because that's what you're listening to? Like, I feel like those Florida Georgia Line and all those people are still here making music and making charting music.
Split up.
No, but that type of
Yeah,
music.
it
I think
is.
maybe you're just what you've been listening to has probably changed. As
True,
you've
but like
grown up.
but those guys aren't top streaming anymore. Like Florida Georgia Line in that modern country is not top streaming. You got Jelly Roll, you got Luke Bryan, you got Hardy, you got.
I would say
Ernest.
Jelly Roll's
Morgan
kind
Wallen.
of
Yeah.
charty though. Like he's pop country.
Who is it?
Jelly Roll's pop
Yeah, he's probably
country.
his popular stuff is. But do you think too, like it goes in waves? Like let's say you step into let's say you step into the right environment. Even though I don't like Florida Georgia Line, I feel like there's probably an environment where you're like, oh, this isn't for me, but in this environment it matches nice.
Yeah, like a WWE Friday Night SmackDown
Yeah.
last night. They were playing Red, White, and Blue by Florida Georgia Line the whole night, and I was
And
like,
it
"Fuck,
fit.
I love this song."
See, that's how I felt with like trap music too. Like if I was on my own and listening to it, I was like, oh, this is trash. But if I got into the right environment, I was like, oh, this makes sense. I
What
get
would be
why people
the
listen
right
to it.
environment for trap music?
Duffy's Taxi in Winnipeg.
Okay. All right. And that, like the back or the front?
I'd put me in whatever seat,
Put you in
dude.
the trunk probably, eh?
If I hear
You're wearing a Duffy's
Raindrop.
and you're
Drop
probably
top.
like loaded.
yeah,
Just trying to get home. Looking out the window as trees pass you by.
looking at hospitals, wondering if you should go.
Yeah, never again.
Never again.
Never again.
You want to tell that story or you want to keep it to
I don't-
yourself?
We could probably tell that
Go
story.
ahead.
I don't know.
You
Have
tell
we?
it. I
talked
wasn't
about
there,
this story?
so I've never on the pod. No.
No. Oh God. So when weed became legalized, I started dabbling in it because I thought it'd be
what?
fun, and it wasn't fun.
Speak for yourself.
We were out drinking in the city there all night long. Ended up going back to a after party. Met a stranger who had he rolled a joint for himself, but he didn't want it because he already had too much. And me being the guy I am, said, I'll have that, sure. As I'm already at the after party, loaded. So I smoked the whole blunt. Find out later that it was not laced. I guess would it be laced? It's been drizzled with cannabis and honey, and then rolled, and then tobacco, and then rolled again. So I went to the moon and back. I've never been so high before.
Call this boy Louis Armstrong, baby.
It was crazy.
Call this boy Lance Armstrong.
I'm trying to figure. Have you ever put a rubber band between your two fingers and just gone like this back and forth with it, and like that tension that you feel?
Yeah.
That's what my body was doing. It was just.
Who do you think was on the? Was it the Spirit? Was it
was my
Christ and the Holy Spirit?
No, it was the devil and Jesus trying to grab me.
Shit. Dude.
Yeah, and I went outside and I puked my guts out again. I'm a big puker, I guess. I puke quite a bit when I have too much substance.
I do too. I'm not gonna say much.
And
It's the way you get the demons out of you, dude.
On the way back, I thought for sure we should stop at a hospital because I was so high, but I couldn't say anything. I was trapped in my own head.
Yeah.
I was drooling out of the mouth, looking out the window, and just watching hospitals pass by. And I wanted to scream out, "Bring me to a hospital!"
Could you imagine?
And I couldn't do it, so I ended up just going home and sleeping.
The guy's been stuck there ever since.
Yeah.
Didn't you drive past a car?
I did. I was not driving that night.
No, like you.
Okay.
No. Sorry. Didn't you drive, like you were in the passenger seat or whatever, weren't you staring out a window
Yeah.
at people in the car next to you?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. Dude.
Yeah, I was trying to communicate with them, and they probably just looked like, "Who this guy's missing
What's the
something."
weirdest thing you've been to the hospital for?
The weirdest thing?
Yeah, I've heard some weird stories of like, like people like getting involved in some sexual activities and someone gets stuck up in some orifice and crevice.
Yeah, that's definitely
like-
Pelle for sure.
Yeah, like I feel like that'd be you, buddy.
Okay. Well, when I was young, I can tell you this when I was young.
When you were young, you stuck a needle bead up your ass and you couldn't get it out, so you went to the hospital.
Nope.
Oh,
When I
okay.
was young, I had like a little itchy crotch for a while. My mom took me to the hospital and the doctor touched my privates.
Oh.
Check if I was okay. I was okay. They just said stop touching it.
And
Oh, dude, that's classic toddler, man, boy, toddler shit right there. Yeah.
This thing's new.
Yeah. What is this?
Yeah, you just tug on it.
Yeah, it's like a fidget spinner.
yeah, you guys, you did that.
Yeah. But I didn't go to the hospital for it because obviously I was told that shouldn't do that by my parents.
Oh, well,
So
that's nice.
We are really just apes, hey?
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
some ape shit. Fucking ape shit.
It's true.
Why? And like, it seems most boys, like very young, will do that. It's this. They,
Do you know what I'm
and then
skeptical
pull
of,
it
though?
down.
I'm skeptical, and this isn't targeted at you. I'm looking at you, but this isn't targeted at you.
Yeah,
I'm skeptical. You know, have you ever met someone like you tell a story like that, or everybody has their own story, whether it's that or something else as they grow up, like dudes especially. The dudes who pretend there isn't a story. And that's what I'm skeptical of. I'm like, what's going on behind closed doors, you know?
Yeah. You know, I got a funny story for you. So I was living at home. I get a printout from a magazine for an advertisement for a vaccine. My mom puts it on the counter and says, "Tori, I want you to go to the doctor and look into this."
guy gets off to the vaccine.
So I'm like, all right, yeah, I can do that. The vaccine is supposed to prevent some form of cancers or something. I said, so I went to my family doctor, talked to him about it.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, yeah, so this is what it's for. I've heard it's supposed to help prevent certain cancers. And my doctor looks at me. He's like, "You interacting in a lot of sexual behavior?" And I looked at him dead in the eye. I said, "No."
Yeah.
Hell yeah, baby.
I said, no, I'm not. He's like, "Well, this is a vaccine predominantly used in gay men." And I'm like, "Oh, it was an HPV vaccine. It was for HPV. The vaccine was for HPV."
So did you get it?
No, I didn't get it because apparently it's recommended if you partake in anal. Apparently he was saying that you should get it, and I don't do a lot of anal, so yeah, that was that was funny shit.
Did you bring the printout for Seth or
No,
keep it to yourself?
No, Yeah. No, I got that in my back pocket. So
That's
You brought
funny.
the vaccine home.
you know what? Pack it up to go. I might need it. Wrap this up.
Can you put it in a to-go cup for me, please? Oh, speaking of which, so we were in Mexico, and we're walking down the street.
This is your most recent trip?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're walking down the street, and there's this like hut set up on the side of the street, and the guy's making drinks. Well, nobody is there, but he kind of yells across the street, and he's like, "Hey, I'll give you a free shot." And I'm like, "Shit, I'll take a free shot." So I went there, and he proceeded to give us a free shot, but then he's like, I felt bad, so we got a drink. Me and Nikki both got a drink, and he started mixing these things. And I looked at Nikki, I'm like, "This dude is fucked up. Like, for sure fucked up." She's like, "Really? He just seems really nice." I'm like, "Nah, this dude is fucked up." And he proceeds to make this drink, and I watch him pour like 3 bottles of like different boozes in it.
Let's go.
And he brings it over, and he brings that one over, he brings another one over, and then I take a sip of it, and he's like, "Pretty good, hey?" Like, it was terrible, by the way. And I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty good." And he's just like, "Yeah, 3 clear alcohols." Like, that was a flex. Like, he didn't even name what 3 they were. And then he proceeded to kind of drink the drinks. I was like, "Sweet, dude." Stand there and watch us drink the drinks with his arms crossed. And then he stands there and he's like, under his breath, he's like, you guys straight?" And I kind of clicked in somehow of what he meant. And I'm like, yeah, we're straight, we're good. And I somehow I knew he was talking about drugs. And then Nikki's like, "Oh, he's talking about drugs? I thought he was asking like if you're gay." I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Oh, cool. Yeah, I haven't seen my son in a long time. I'm trying to, clean up my act. I'm going to therapy." Like, just totally.
Was this
switched
like
his gear.
a white dude?
No, no.
Oh.
He also
He's really good English.
Yeah, he did have really good English. He also told us that he pointed to a taco stand down the street and said, "I got fired from there last week because I fell asleep at work, like at the job," which is amazing to me because you're at a taco stand.
You're standing there.
How are you falling asleep? Yeah, the guy was an absolute.
Guy must be from Vancouver.
He was a menace. Yeah. He was there the next night
Some
too.
Narcan. Wake him up, baby. Wake him up.
And there was 2 people in that booth, and I'm like, that was us. That was us. And we checked in on them. We're like, "You guys good?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're fine." They're fucked up. But we made it. So
Yeah.
moral of the
I
story
thought he was asking if like you guys needed a third.
I think that's what Nikki was thinking he was asking. And I was like, for some reason, my brain clicked in because he was messed up and he was like pouring booze like a 16-year-old. I was like,
Are you
This guy's
worried
talking
about
about
getting
drugs.
hepatitis from that guy?
"Oh, yeah, I've had it for years, dude."
Okay.
I went to my doctor.
slow.
I went to my doctor and I got a vaccine for it already.
You ever get asked like, you and your wife, right?
Hang on. The moral of that story and how that linked to Torrie's was we didn't finish our drinks because they were terrible. He's like, "Do you guys want to-go cups?" He gave us 2 giant styrofoam cups like I'm Lil Wayne. And I'm like, "Hell yeah, dude." I drank it in the cab. I was like, "This is awesome." Anyways, go
I
ahead.
got to get my Twin X again. I know that.
Let's say you and your wife are in Mexico, right? And you and your wife are having a good time. All of a sudden, a nice, attractive lady walks
This guy
up.
trying to slide in.
Right, a nice,
Fuck you.
a nice, attractive lady walks up.
I'm not vaccinated.
And she's like, "Hey," she's kind of pushing towards the idea of being a third for you and Nikki.
Yep.
And what if Nikki was like, "You know what? I'm open to it." Would you be open to it?
There'd probably have to be a little bit of discussion at a time, what's the consequences of an action like this? Yeah, you'd probably have to do a little run through.
Yeah, they'd be running through for sure.
That'd be
We
running
probably have to
through you,
do a poll, do a vote
You throw it up on
3 people.
like Teams or something. You throw it with
on Slack.
all your family members.
We put it up on Slack.
I'll include all your family members in the discussion.
Me and wife looking for a third.
Oh,
Good idea or not?
You just ask Reddit.
Yeah, just with a picture of us.
Yeah,
eh?
yeah.
And the third. What about you? What if I know you're not committed to anything just yet, at least to my knowledge. Are you?
No, I'm not. No.
Okay. Shout out to the ladies.
If you were to have a threesome with another dude and like a girl, who would be the guy you'd be like, yeah, I could probably do a threesome with that guy. Like 2
Fuck
dudes.
yeah, dude. Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Really?
Another. No. I wouldn't do another threesome with another dude.
Another. It's been there. Been there and back. Yeah.
But if it had to be one,
Guys double dipping.
if it had to be one, I think still to this day it'd be probably Michael B. Jordan.
Oh yeah.
That guy is a good looking man.
So it'd be you, Michael B. Jordan, and some woman.
Yeah.
Okay, now cut celebrities. I'm talking people you know.
Oh hell no!
Ooh, don't bring up any names.
No,
you guys.
no.
That kind of leads me though to actually, you know what, Tor?
What's
go
up?
ahead. Don't actually, you know what? Fuck it. If you want to give us something,
Yeah, give me a local name. Maybe we'll see her tonight.
I just met out of our friends, dude. Who'd be the dude you'd be willing to have a threesome with? That's all. Pretty innocent. Pretty innocent.
Bryce.
Yeah, you think you and Bryce? You think? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because I think Bryce would be like, "Hey, don't touch me. Don't go near me.
Yeah.
Let's just focus on the main goal."
Okay.
You don't think me or Tori would be like that? No. Just hey, touch me, bro. Hey, keep touching me. Tor, what
Can
about
you learn to love me?
What was the question again when we got asked?
Who would you have a slip?
No, I want you to answer the question.
Question. Threesome.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think my buddy Dylan. I think me and him could really work something out.
Are you setting this up, dude?
So
Are you setting this up?
no, I'm not setting up anything.
Are you lobbing?
I'm not. I'm
You
not
waiting for
setting
someone to
anything.
dunk?
No, I'm good. I'm just. He knows. So, I think we could figure something out. That'd be fun.
Okay. So
I just think he'd be very like business professional about it.
yeah, he would
He'd sign off on emails. He would, sincerely, respectfully.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
He'd probably ask if you had a good time.
He might even bow.
Oh, we should do more of that.
Whoa.
Okay, so on that topic, we did get a question on the Instagram page. So if you guys aren't following us on Instagram, go to Through Thick and Thin. Sometimes we throw up question boxes. Follow that page. We post reels there and stuff. But one of the people who asked a question to us asked genuinely, would you date each other if you were the opposite sex? Who wants to go first? Or do you want me to
Me
go first?
personally, I would not date myself. No.
No, like
No, it has to be one of the friends. It has to be one of the fellas.
one of the Table Talk boys.
I'm trying to think. Not Torrie, not you, for other reasons.
No, it has to be someone at this table. That's the
It
question.
has to be.
Like, would you date
Then
me or
no.
Tori?
Then no.
Oh.
Oh, that's not fun for conversation.
Well, you guys are just like. I've stayed in a room with you for like a week, right, in Mexico.
We were fine.
And guess what,
we
dude?
took care of each other.
And guess what?
You borrowed my everything.
Yeah, well, your clothes were all over the TV and all over the floor.
And why weren't your clothes anywhere?
Because they were in the suitcase.
Because you didn't bring any.
Because I brought clothes. I brought 2 outfits, and I cycled through them like a nice, sustainable young man.
you guys have been together. haven't
Okay, I'll
you?
tell you this
guys
right
have
now.
been
Okay,
together.
this is what I would do. I would go like I would be like more committed to Seth, but I would keep you on the side. You know, because I
that's
know
nice, yeah.
me and you-
Why?
Just wait.
Oh, he gets upset.
Because you like this is a compliment. I'm about to compliment you guys.
Right.
Because you're like adventurous. You take me along with different events. You bring me places. And Tori, me and him, like probably we get into it every once in a while. Like our personalities are pretty similar. We're pretty sensitive dudes.
Right.
So we'd clash, but the makeup sex would be so good, right?
God.
So
would be, yeah.
so Seth, I'd keep you kind of full time, and Tor, I'd keep you.
Just whenever you need.
You think
Yeah.
I have more full-time qualities than Tori?
That's why you turn doing this to me, dude.
Dude got upset.
You have you have like you take me places, you do things with me. You got clout, so I'd probably like grow my following. I'd use you for things.
God.
Yeah, like podcasts.
But think about our memories, dude.
I personally don't think I have. Oh yeah, let's get it. Crack it up. I personally don't think I have more full-time qualities than Tori. I think Tori has more full-time qualities.
So you would date Tori?
Yeah, probably.
Thanks, man. Needed that.
Right.
Who would I date out of both of you? That's a good question.
I'm saying full time, like it's like a job.
Putting in 80 hours, weekends
80
off.
hours a week, I'm picking Thor. But if we're doing doing 20 on the weekends, I'll probably do Pelle.
Yeah, it's over. It's overtime with Pelle. I don't know.
I don't know if I should be
I don't
offended.
know. I kind of like what Pelle said about us being like side pieces for each other, just because I think if we were to live with each other, it'd be fucking chaotic.
Oh, dude, could you
like,
imagine if we weren't in sync?
This house would be a fucking mess.
No.
Yes, it would.
No, it wouldn't be.
Don't
Just
lie.
my room would be a mess,
And
dude.
our personalities, maybe.
Dude, when I look around this house, I see a lot of your shit just around.
Do you know what I
But guess what? It's packed in nice corners.
Yeah,
Sadness.
but there's a lot of it.
In nice corners.
When I moved in here, this place was empty, which was kind of nice.
I'm not gonna comment on this because it's gonna trigger me. Okay, I'm not gonna comment on this because it's gonna trigger me.
No, go ahead, comment on it.
Get triggered,
Yeah,
fired up.
you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
No, I don't think this is a good idea.
Why not? What's wrong?
Sure, I leave my stuff in corners, but like the bathroom isn't fucking exploding every fucking week.
Hey, it smells like coffee, dude.
It
Yeah.
smells like coffee.
Yeah, I got a shop in there. What are you talking about?
Dude, have you noticed
That's White Cat.
I wipe up the sink every time I
Yeah, that's
go-
because you're OCD. That's not on me.
It's nice. We got people coming over sometimes. If we do ever.
You mean Pelle? Did
Hey, what's up?
you notice the sink was clean?
The
I'm not gonna comment because you guys hurt my feelings by saying
sorry,
you
bro.
guys hurt my feelings by saying I
You're a
had
side
Seth
piece?
on the podcast for clout.
Well, nobody knows who I am on this thing.
Yeah, that hurts, man. I like you as a person, and if we're gonna continue this relationship, and if he's gonna be involved, we're gonna have to sort this
We're
out.
gonna have to figure this out
Yeah.
between the
Are we
three
gonna
of us.
Are we gonna throw this out right now?
We gonna fuck or what?
You guys, they have to pay extra for that. And the OS.
And we'll be right back.
Yeah, I probably. Well, I mean, I'm almost dating you, Seth. We live with each other, so
It's more like brothers.
yeah.
I'm gonna
is kinda
say
cool.
I'm gonna
Yeah, I
say
can see that,
something.
yeah.
I'm gonna say something kind of a little bit deep. Okay. I'm on the whiskeys. I'm on the rum.
Don't worry. 2 weeks ago it was me. So
Yeah.
Okay.
fired up.
Pelle almost had a mental breakdown.
I've never had brothers in my life. I grew up with two sisters.
Hell yeah, none of us.
Right? Two sisters.
Tor.
I mean, I haven't had either.
Seth,
so.
can we?
And so going into this friend group makes me feel like I have brothers
All right.
and like people that like really back me up and like people that care about me. And I've never really had that. And I think that's like that's the shit, dude.
Yeah, and it's
It's
kind
the
of nice to have dudes to be mad at, and not just your sister.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Because my sisters would slap me probably.
I feel that. Like, in all honesty, I can relate to that because I grew up with two sisters who would slap the shit out of me.
Yep.
And it's nice to have guys, and guys interact differently. So it's a nice check every once in a while when they respond a certain way or they give you advice in a certain way, even though, sometimes it's hard to take. It's like, it is good to have it. This fucking guy is going to say something making fun of us, but he knows it too. If we weren't at this table right now, this motherfucker would be here giving his final speech that we find in the lake somewhere.
Pretty good at final speeches, so. Yeah, no, that's very true. My whole life has been like that, so just finding brothers, baby, finding
dude.
brothers. And then, although that shitty thing with that is when people leave me, motherfucker, that fucks me up. Fucks me up for a
Like,
while.
how?
100%.
I get
Are you
so
mad or are you hurt?
lonely and hurt. Yeah. Yeah,
Do you
when
fear that?
yes,
Like, are you scared of that?
100%.
Yeah.
100% I'm scared of that. Yeah.
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 When people leave, it's different, man.
It is.
It's just a different feeling.
Like even on good terms, we can separate on good terms. It fucking hurts. Lingers for a long time. So.
Yeah.
It's that is actually an interesting thing. As I've gotten older, I've realized the way I work with it, like the way I handle it lots of times, and I've tried to work on it quite a bit. And I think I've made improvements. But sometimes when people, like, let's say they leave or they do it in a way that I don't agree with or something like that, I used to, maybe I still do. You guys would be a better bouncing board or whatever the fuck it's called. But I would be like, well, fuck them. I'm never talking to them again.
Right.
That would be the way to go. Like, because that means you don't have to deal with that like hurt of not being friends with that person anymore or not having a connection with them anymore. And I've tried really hard because then that ends up not feeling any better. You just feel like shit, and you think about them every once in a while. Yeah. You think about it every once in a while. You're like, oh, we had a good time there, but fuck them. They don't believe in me anymore, or they don't want to be friends with me anymore. Or
You're like Michael Jordan coming up with fake scenarios.
Michael Scott.
Dude, that guy was an absolute animal.
What's your guys like? He gets hurt. What about you? Like if me and Tor were to say, hey, we're not friends anymore, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, and then it's that awkward thing where we're all at the same events, though.
Actually, it's at a UFC event, but it's in the prelims.
Yeah.
And we all have to sit there through the rest of the UFC fight.
I don't know. I'd probably feel like a lot of like resentment. I think if it ended on good terms, no. But if it ended on like what you just brought up with like, oh, fuck you, we're leaving. Like it'd probably be a lot of resentment.
Like I mean, I make that up in my head.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I've had people who I look at a certain way or whatever, and I think, okay, we have this connection, and then all of a sudden they go a different direction, which they're totally fine with. Like that's life. That's the way life goes. And then you kind of sit back and you can almost feel this feeling of like, what the fuck? Like what? Am I not good enough to be this person's friend anymore? And then you almost make this story up in your head.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, do you find yourself doing that at all? Or what do you, like, if we were to go away, would you still be like, oh, I just miss those guys and I'm hurt? Like that, I think that's more your thing. Hey?
How did we go away? Like, what would be the scenario? Would
Just
it be
separated.
Like just like
it would
grew
just
apart.
it would just kind of just naturally
Yeah,
grow
yeah,
apart. We
yeah,
all
naturally
have
grew
different
apart.
life paths, and it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I think.
But you reached out every once in a while and,
Right.
and it just didn't work. But to you,
To me, I would feel like I'd feel like sad and like lonely for a little bit, but then probably come to the realization after that was like a season of life, and like that season of life was like what I needed at that moment in my life, and I can always appreciate them looking back on it because they did a lot of things for me that nobody else could. But there's seasons of life continue to go on, so there's more seasons of life, and that's just how life goes. Right. So I would look back on it and be like, I really appreciate those guys and like the brothers I had at that moment. But that's just the way life goes, dude. People, as we get older and as people get older, they have like their goals in life and people just kind of separate. It's just the way it is. There's no animosity towards anybody. People just kind of go their own separate ways because they all have their own paths that they're going on.
Yeah, and I think that I do agree with you. I think that is like the right mindset to have with a friendship. Like it's almost like, as bad as it sounds, in my opinion at least, it is a bit of a transaction, like your relationship, and at some point that you just don't go to that store anymore.
Right.
And it's not like that store is shit.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I'm in a different town, or I'm going, I need a different product.
Yeah.
So you go to a different store, but that store is still really good. If someone talked to you about that store, you'd be like, yeah, go there.
Absolutely.
They got what you need. They're awesome.
Yeah.
But you just kind of move on to a different place in your life.
Yeah. 100%.
Why
That's a
Pelle
great
quit
analogy.
shopping at Hot Topic.
Dude, no, I didn't.
Dude, what the fuck is that jersey? You still
we all
shop
hang on.
at Hot
Hang on.
Topic.
We all got a team, baby.
You still shop at Hot Topic.
This is that sports episode. Baby.
Hey, this is Sports Illustrated, baby.
What number am I wearing?
Chicago 26. Who the fuck was that?
Dude, that was
6.
Scotty.
So
That was
Scotty
not
Robin.
Scotty Pippen.
is there a 2 on the other arm?
Yeah.
Why does it say
No, it says
26
26
and then a
and
6 on the
Is it 62?
No, that's just a 6.
There's no other number?
There's no other number on that.
Dude,
other
I'm
sleeve.
every player, bro.
What's the other
What's the other shoulder? Is there a number on the other shoulder?
nothing.
Oh my god! You get that from China?
That's right, dude.
That's just Shohei
That shit's
Ohtani's like
fucking
jersey,
funny.
buddy.
Pick a player, you know?
Dude, it's 2066, baby.
The 266. You're a wrestler.
666.
You're a wrestler, bro.
Got bonds.
But
or
this guy's
something.
wearing a Villanova shirt, like he played.
Villanova Law.
Like he's looking for a Nike sponsorship, and this guy's looking for the Manitou Bonzers over here.
That's the
Two
Grand
Bonds,
Forks, baby. That's the Grand Forks Bonds, baby.
This is a senior hockey team for sure.
Dude, I know some of the players on that team.
Yeah.
We talked about them earlier. They did the same things those supermodels did.
Not eat and do cocaine. Yeah, that sounds about right.
What do you think the most embarrassing part? Like, give me like one embarrassing story. Like, what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you?
I think I told some of these. Do you want to hear a breakup story of when I was young? That was super sad.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, so when I was a young little fella,
Yeah.
grade 7, you guys ready to just be hurt?
I'm just gonna make a drink.
Because mine's probably similar.
I want Torrie to hear this.
No, this sucks.
Let's just wait.
You know what? I have to fill my drink.
Okay, I'll keep you guys entertained. So I'm going to be the only one on this podcast for the next, I don't know, 10 minutes. What?
Dude, absolutely.
Apparently Seth wiped out. So I'm just going to do a shameless plug while we're still here. If you guys like this podcast or it's something you guys think someone else would enjoy, maybe you don't enjoy it and you've made it this far, make sure you share it with that person that you know will enjoy it. Or if you don't enjoy it and you think we're a bunch of idiots and you're laughing at us, that's fine too. Share it with someone that can also laugh at us. We don't mind. And if you comment below something like insulting or complimentary, or you interact with our Instagram page, we appreciate that as well. That just helps us, and we can get better. If you guys give us some insults or some constructive criticism, maybe not insults, constructive criticism would be great. We can keep making this thing better and we can keep having a blast. That's pretty much my spiel. I think the boys are coming back now.
What did you sell them?
Just on the podcast.
Oh,
Get merch.
your sales pitches don't seem to be working.
Yeah, trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. Hey, if you guys actually watch this, you share it and you rate it and you message us, you screenshot that you did that, Torrie will actually contribute a certain sum of money in your direction, coming straight from the Through Thick and Thin Patreon. So we appreciate everything, and we'll repay you guys with actual money.
At some point, yes, we will. We might do that. Or never do that, because we're not going to do that. Also, I love how we're going to give them money.
Dude, if we make bank, I'd give back some money. We'll get some prizes.
Yeah, if we make bank,
buy some
for
Beats
sure.
headphones or something.
Some Beats headphones, yeah. Some skull crushers. Yeah. I want to talk about how I love how disrespectful we are. We leave mid-podcast to get a drink.
No, that's table talk.
That's how genuine we are.
Anything goes on table talk.
It's how genuine we are. We don't like, oh, you want to hang with us? We'll just got to dip out for a little bit.
I can see Seth in the mirror here.
Seth is fighting his own demons at the moment.
Hey, Villanova, get back in here.
That's not the first time I heard that.
Well, he's getting ready.
You heard it here, folks.
Can you rack up a story for us? Don't tell it yet, because I'm going to tell mine, but I don't want to be the only one to share something personal. I want you guys to. Oh my goodness. Okay. You guys ready for this?
Yeah, what's this story you've been working on here?
Back in grade 7, I was dating a girl. It was probably like one of my first girlfriends ever. And I was like super like in my head, I'm like, I'm going to do everything for this girl. Everything, Nice. Grade 7, you didn't even know what a girl was, but you knew you liked them. Yep. Probably scratching my crotch too much. And so I bought this girl for Christmas. I went with another buddy of ours. We bought our girlfriend's charm bracelets. I brought her a stuffed animal. I brought her candy, whatever. I gave her this package for Christmas. Yep. It was awesome. Anyways, a couple weeks later, I show up to English class. Walk into the class. Everybody else is pretty much sitting down already. And everybody's looking at me. And they're laughing. And I was like, what the heck's going on? I look at my desk. There's a shoebox on my desk. I was like, okay, this is all right. This is weird. I open the shoebox.
Human hand.
The charm bracelet is broken into a million pieces. The stuffed animal is ripped into a million pieces. I think there's some other things, maybe candy or something, all ripped up in that box. And I open it up, and everybody that was in the class at that time looked at me and laughed. And my heart was broken.
God,
and I sat through English class.
Why was it all ripped up and broken?
That was her breaking up with me.
Oh my God.
Wow, that's psycho.
I don't think it was to credit to the girl. I don't think it was all her idea. I think there was some peer pressure and encouragement from the other participants in the class. But yeah, that fucking shaped me, dude.
The bullet that
So
never
they
hit
wrecked
was
your
never a miss,
gift.
baby.
They ripped
to
it
show
up.
that you were broken up.
Yeah, they ripped it
That's
all up, put it in a
fucking
box,
cruel,
and they all
dude.
watched as I walked into class and opened it. Yeah, it was great.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
Did you just sit there?
Shout out Andrew Tate. Women shouldn't drive, dude.
This is the problem. Wow, no wonder you're so fucked up. That sucks.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
That
and then
sucks.
you have to sit through English class
Oh,
Yeah.
with this fucking box on your desk for the rest of the class because you're in grade 7. What are you gonna do?
I'd probably leave
Where to?
the hallways.
I ain't no bitch, dude.
go grab a muffin.
I ain't no bitch.
go
I'm
grab
gonna
a muffin at the
stand up and
cafeteria.
watch it. I mean, where are they now, right?
Man, that's tough.
I got to say, one of my most embarrassing stories was probably one I've already told on the podcast. The trampoline incident at a buddy's house.
With the dog?
No. Oh, dude, I've had so many.
With the dog humping
there's still a
you?
different
He's
one.
playing with me.
I don't know. I've had a lot of, like,
Is there one that sticks out that you feel like just shaped you that you would never tell to the public because they're not here right now?
yeah, that's true. They're not here. I don't know. I don't really. I wish because I know as soon as I go lay my head down to sleep, now I lay me down to sleep. I think, I think it would come back. I think it would come back, but I don't have anything at the moment. I'll see if I can think of something as we.
That's fine. I just shared a heartfelt.
Yeah.
You ever hear of I think it's called like sharing anxiety or sharing regret? Like you share a story and then the other person listens to it and then they leave and you're like, I shouldn't have shared that.
Right.
I guess you could say so. There was this girl that I was seeing, and I thought we were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time. Found out we weren't, but later on, obviously, she was sick in the hospital. I went and brought her flowers
Fuck yeah.
because she was sick in the hospital. She kept telling me, "Torrie, you have to leave. You have to get out of here. My parents are gonna come." I'm like, okay, why? Like, I'll meet your parents. And I guess she wanted me out of the hospital because the other guy she was seeing was coming as well to see her.
Oh no.
And she didn't end up keeping the flowers. She told me to take the flowers.
Oh
So,
my God.
That fucked me up for a while.
How old were you?
I was in high school.
Oh yeah, dude,
Yeah.
we got you.
So, yeah, I think that's a big part of it. But yeah, no, that was interesting. Yeah, that really sucked.
Damn. Do you want to shout her out? I'm just
No.
kidding.
Yeah, fuck you.
I mean, Seth last podcast.
It's been 10 years. I'll be okay.
No, dude. Mine
that
was
shit
grade
makes me
7.
sad, actually, I'm not gonna lie.
It'll stay with you. Just wait.
So what?
It'll come back around.
Do you know who the other guy was, and do you know if he brought her anything?
I do know who the other guy was, but I don't know if he brought her anything. That was so long ago.
Fuck, dude. That's so
Yeah,
sad. That's actually sad.
Yeah, that's a dick move. Seth?
I'm just trying to recover from Torrie's story because that's like a thing that is not done enough, like nowadays, and they don't like
having
appreciate it.
two guys on the side.
No, yeah, how 100%.
We need to do that more. Bump that number up.
That's so wholesome, dude. Like nobody, dude, that
Yeah,
makes
it
me
is.
fucking
It
sad.
is.
You know,
Tori, don't lose that.
yeah,
Keep doing that shit.
keep doing
I've
that
only had the
stuff.
opportunity to do that once.
Yeah, but
Do you know why?
don't not do it again.
Locked in here.
It's locked in, man.
Locked in here.
I'll come
Yeah.
with you next time. I'll stay in the car. I'll wait for you.
Yeah. Yep.
Man, I don't know. My most embarrassing. Like we're on the topic of ladies. My first time ever in my entire life, I went to the hospital. My first time having intercourse.
Okay.
I went to the hospital, and nobody actually. I'm gonna tell you this right now, right? I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Did you do a handstand?
My parents don't know this.
Let's put it on the internet.
Let's put it on the internet, baby, and we'll be right
this
back.
is exclusive content for 3 seconds, dude.
We might have to charge for
I
this
know.
one.
I know some friends know this. Friends of friends, and a lot of people know it through other people. But I went to the hospital after my first time. She drove me back to. I was in Winnipeg at the time, and she drove me back to Winkler to go to the hospital.
Are you gonna tell us why, or are you just gonna
Because
keep saying?
I was like, my tummy hurts, and I was sitting in bed for like probably
She fucked you, dude, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she fucked you.
yeah she fucked me, dude. So I go back to the hospital, and I'm like, I tell the doctor, I'm like, I'm not feeling too good. Things aren't feeling right, and so I immediately tell him, I'm like, doctor, I've just had sex for the first time.
Did he dab you up?
Yeah. He was
What's
like,
up? What's up, my dude?
Leave him hanging.
he was like, okay, I don't think it has anything to do with what's going on. I think you're just a bit dehydrated. And so they put an IV in me, and they let me stay for a couple hours.
Boy, put in work.
And he was like,
It's called heat.
he was like,
get that coconut water, boy.
he was like, you're just dehydrated. And I was like, I had my hospital wristband. I go back to my parents' place. I sleep over the night, and they're just like, come back in the morning. We'll run some tests. And so we come back in the morning. I'm fine, dude. I'm totally fine. I'm just really, really dehydrated
I'm probably embarrassed.
and crazy embarrassed. That's my first time. Like, that's a wild story to be like, yeah, I did this for the first time, and she had to drive me back to my hometown to go to the hospital and put an IV in.
Why didn't you just go to the location's hospital? That
It
you
was
were
in the
already
time. Well, it was in the time of COVID, and she didn't really trust the systems in the city. She wanted to go back to where I was because it was smaller.
Oh yeah, okay. That's not as sad as me and Torrie's,
No,
But it's just embarrassing.
that is,
like people
yeah.
know that.
That's rough. How was the
People know
drive?
that.
Like, what'd you do on the drive?
I was still feeling not too good on the drive.
So you're embarrassed, but you proceed to tell the whole internet about the story?
I'm not embarrassed
trying to-
anymore, dude.
Okay, there we go.
I'm not embarrassed anymore.
You had
That's
me
sick,
worried.
dude.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people know that story, not through me, but
through YouTube now.
through YouTube now, baby. Huh?
Glories of the internet. Yeah, no, it's fun. Going through life is exciting, man.
Yeah,
You get all these little tidbits of heartbreak and upset and highs and lows. I love it.
yeah, dude. We could write a country album.
No, probably not.
I think we could.
I don't know.
We could get our buddy to write us a country album.
Our buddy definitely could write a country album.
Yeah. Yeah.
That guy just just writes music out of thin air. I don't know how he does it. He has like a new song every week.
Yeah.
Must be going on a lot of dates.
It's not. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. I don't know, man. There's a lot of embarrassing shit that's happened to me. 100%.
I think that HPV vaccination thing was pretty embarrassing because I didn't know what it was for, and the doctor just assumed that I was having a lot of anal sex.
Yeah,
like
dude.
me personally getting fucked in the ass.
You should have asked them.
I should have went.
Do you think I look like I'd get anal sex?
I should have just kept going with it. I should have just kept going with it.
I look like the kind of guy who's having sex?
Yeah, I am having a lot of dick in my butt, so maybe I do need that vaccine.
This sucker's off the rails.
Oh shit,
No,
man.
no, it's not. We're back.
Tor, did you have a thing you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, I
or did you bring it
wanted
up already?
to talk about it. Let me see what I have written down here.
Talk about it.
How about the 12K, huh?
Where do you think the worst place to vape is? Like, if you were to just whip out a vape, where would be the worst place to do it and the worst time to do it?
Church. Prayer.
You think?
Done.
I never thought about that.
Game over.
I never thought about that either. Me and Seth had this conversation yesterday, and we came up with because like since I started vaping, don't recommend it. I thought I could kick it, can't kick it. So
Unkickable.
I was walking to get some groceries at Superstore, and I had it in my hand because I was vaping on the way to the store, and I kept hauling it as I was in the store, just constantly vaping. And I find that is so I find that so embarrassing. You just catch myself doing it. I'm like, oh fuck, now I gotta like somehow hide it.
Yeah, that's rough. I've done it. Like I was gonna say Walmart, but I feel like Walmart. It's like it'd probably be like, hey, someone just come up. Hey, dude, I know, I get it. I do it too. But
Or no one would come up because I can't find a soul in that place.
that's true too, and no one knows
there. Yeah.
because you go into Walmart, you recognize absolutely. We live in a not very large two communities here, shared communities. You know pretty much everybody, but somehow you go into our local Walmart, you don't know anybody.
Yeah, you've never seen them before. It's crazy.
People you've never seen, and they probably think the same thing about me.
Well, dude, they've been riding on horse and buggy on the way there. Of course, we don't see them. They're in the
So church would be a bad location.
Church would be rough, yeah. Like during prayer, I mean, like everybody's like, bow your head.
But their eyes are closed. They wouldn't know.
Yeah, but the guy up top.
That's when you hit
Lord,
it. That's when you hit it.
Yeah.
And now it laid me down.
What did you say? You said a first date. I found that one to be interesting.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I said like inside of the first date. Like let's say, I think because we vape inside a lot inside the house, we're just used to vaping in indoor environments. And so like whenever you're indoor, you just want to rip it. But like that's not kosher, right? That's not Christian.
Now, I wanted to pick your brain on this.
That's not. Hang on. How is that not Christian?
That's not the Lord's work.
Okay.
Baby.
Seth also said that he wouldn't vape in front of his girl on dates for at least a third or fourth date.
Yeah.
Now, me personally, if I'm outside and we're chatting and we're about to close things off, I might have a hoot while she's still there, because why would I hide something that I already do?
I agree.
To the point where, like, if she doesn't like that I vape already, let's get that out of the way.
I agree, but I think there is something to be said for like kind of, you know, like presenting the best parts of yourself first, so they get to know, like, hey, you know, like by the time you bring out,
hopefully she likes you enough and likes that she
can look past some of your shortcomings.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe like when she's just getting to know you, because it's a lot of that is pretty superficial.
Yeah.
Like it's just like you're taking like the general points of this person. That might work against you, I think.
But we'll go out for drinks.
And then you're vaping?
Well, but worst things, you want to get the worst things out. You know?
Do you?
No, well, that's what you just said.
Yeah,
you want to get the worst things.
Like I think
present some good things so that when you bring out the worst things, it doesn't seem as bad.
Yeah, like
but for instance, we'll be going for drinks, so that right there is probably not one of the best things.
Yeah, I wouldn't say, like, it's almost like getting drunk. Like this person,
you don't want to get drunk on a first date.
You probably know this girl has gotten drunk before, and you probably know she probably knows you've gotten drunk, but you probably shouldn't do that on the first date.
That'd be funny though.
Yeah, I think vape is similar. Like, you guys both know, like maybe she vapes, maybe you vape, but maybe just like hold off on it on the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
See, and I just went like, oh, I'm going to do it anyways. Why would I hide it from her? So.
Which I think is better though. Mm-hmm. I think that's better though than changing your whole personality. Like I think that I would rather, in my head, I think you'd be better off to present that than present a totally different personality and totally different person that you totally have to go back on in 4 dates.
I think of it like a job interview, right? Like in a job interview, you're going to present like the best things about yourself. Why should I hire you? Why is this? Why is that?
As long as they're honest.
And as long as they're honest, but like they might start to see like the things that you aren't so good at later in the relationship, but they have more leanings towards you because you present good qualities. They know you're inherently good.
Yeah.
It's just you have some things that you're not so good at.
Yeah, like you're gonna dress your best for a first date, but you don't dress like that all the time.
Yeah.
But you're trying to impress.
But at most jobs you can have smoke breaks.
But not on the interview.
Yeah, not on the interview. Yeah, hold up.
That'd be funny.
What are your strengths? Hold on a minute.
Okay,
I gotta get out of here.
You know what's worse than church to vape? I think we just found it.
Yeah,
job interview. Imagine someone's asking, so what do you think your skills are?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know what? I'm stimulated.
I'm rushed.
I'm stressed.
Now Zins are obviously becoming a thing, right? Do you think that'll take the place of a lot of people using vapes?
No.
I think I'd rather. I haven't used a Zin, but I think I'd rather do that though, because I think I would think it would be better for you.
No.
You don't think so,
dude? Okay, so me and my buddy, we all know. We did a road trip recently, 30 hours. And we were like, hey, we stopped at a gas station. We're like, hey, you know what? Let's pop some Zins, 6 milligrams. And so we popped some Zins on the ride. And it's different than inhaling because it gives you like this, the same as like smoking weed and eating edibles. It's a different kind of high.
Okay.
Like it's like a full body high and you feel like just gross. Like halfway through, we popped them out, we threw them out, we're like, fuck, like,
do you think
I want to puke.
Do you think that's more of like a dosage thing though?
Yeah, like maybe you just left it in too long?
Yeah.
We left it in, like, we took them out before you were supposed to take them out. Because Zins, you can't they dissolve in your mouth like fully?
No,
no,
I don't think so.
No. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
we're just saying no.
Yeah.
We have
Dude,
no, you're wrong.
Nah, dude. The only guy who's actually tried is nah, dude. You don't know what you're talking about.
That messed me up, dude. Messed me up.
How was your trip to LA, by the way?
Yeah.
It was good. LA is nice. It's there's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of homeless. I would say it's probably like Vancouver, like going to Vancouver. I mean, in any big city, there's going to be a lot of poverty.
Could you ever live there? Like, do you see yourself somewhere like that?
I think LA and New York, I've been to both. I'd rather live in LA than New York. LA is a lot more spaced out in terms of people. Like there's a lot of people in New York and they're all like kind of going to do the same thing at all the same times. So like the subway's really packed at all the times. Everybody's moving together in like this kind of big slump where LA is kind of like, oh, I need to go here, I need to go there, I need to go there. It's very spaced out. It's like much bigger. I'd probably live there. I could see myself living there sometime if that happens.
One thing I heard recently actually about New York in particular is I heard it was because naturally as guys get older, like let's say between 35 and 50, naturally they become more financially stable, they become more secure in themselves, and those are like attractive qualities to women. And women, like for guys to look at women, it's more physical, right? Like you're like, hey, I want a young girl, whatever. As they age around that age, it probably could decrease, right? I've heard that like a place like New York is really good for that 35 to 50-year-old guy because they're established and they can take advantage of New York. And it's really good for that, let's say, 25.
What do you mean by take advantage of New York?
Like, well, if you're going to do business, you're going to New York. If you're going to have fun and live like this influencer lifestyle, you're going to LA.
Yeah, and basically what I'm saying is like you'd probably have a lot of fun as let's say an 18 to 25-year-old girl or let's say 35 to 50-year-old guy in New York. Whereas if you're in between, let's say you're a 20-year-old guy in New York or a 50-year-old girl, it probably wouldn't be as great of an experience. That's just what I heard.
Yeah.
And now I don't know if that has any truth to it.
I can see it because like because
it's expensive, right?
Oh yeah. Both those places are crazy expensive. But New York is very creative, but it's also very business. Like I know people from around here that just go to New York for business, like just on business trips. So yeah, I can see the 35 to 50-year-old businessman going there to do a job and like, oh, I like this place. I can work from here and I'll live there. But if LA's for more of the young people that are a little bit more building kind of thing, building networking, building connections. New York is probably a little bit more stable in the fact, like business wise. Both places are not like here. I'll tell you that. I got culture shock from both places.
What would you say was the biggest, like, other than the homeless and like the actual environment?
Yeah.
On that topic, what was the biggest, like?
Did you get to give Narcan to someone?
Yeah.
I don't know. I got punched by a homeless guy in New York.
Yeah. But what's the biggest culture shock?
Didn't you also get robbed by 3 people in LA?
Yeah. So I got punched by a homeless guy in New York and robbed by 3 people in LA. So what are we talking about?
I'm going to New York, baby. I'm about to check these hands, dude. But at the same time, like, I can't imagine going to either place by the sounds of it as a guy who, let's say, is single.
Yeah. And
they're trying to create something, but at the same time, in your 20s, you're probably trying to find someone who you connect with. How would you like financially, like this guy can offer this, let's say this girl around your age, all these opportunities. Like they can say, hey, we can go here to eat, we can do this, I can offer you this.
Right.
And then as a 20-year-old guy who's building, you can't offer any of that stuff.
No.
Like how does that work?
Well, if you're a 20-year-old guy that's just building, go to LA. I mean, all these people in LA are kind of like that. Like, I got to afford rent, but we can go here and here, and we're just here to have a good time. New York is more like, I can take you here, here, and here.
Okay.
And that's what I can do. And, like, New York is like throwing a feather into the wind, dude. It's just everybody's kind of freeing, doing their own thing. It's very, like, I don't know.
That's LA, you mean, right?
Yeah, LA. New York is very, like, if you live there,
orchestrated, collected.
It's very collected.
Oh yeah,
it's very collected, but also very creative. But it's a certain creative, like,
It's more industrialized creativity.
It's like structured creativity in New York. Like you have creativity, but there's a lot of structure towards it. In LA, it's kind of like free balling. You're just free balling. Like you meet people on the street and you go to their house to produce music or some shit. Like I don't know. It's just they're 2 different places. 100%. I don't know. I wouldn't live. I'm not a big city guy, so I don't think I'd live in either of those places, to be honest.
What about you, Tor? After like hearing that, like what's your thoughts?
Oh I don't know. I would love to live in either of those places. I'm not too picky.
You could probably.
I could probably make it work in
Yeah.
both locations. I've been to New York as just like a vacation.
That's right. You've
and-
seen a Yankees game. And stuff,
Yeah,
right?
I've seen a few Yankees games. Love them. I love it sounds douchey of me, but I love like the Wall Street mentality that New York brings. And like, I love the idea of like
a little more hard nosed.
Yankees baseball on a Sunday night, like,
It does seem like on that does seem they have a little bit more like passion about New York. Where to me from the outside, LA looks like they could give it less shit.
yeah, they could
Well,
give
it's
less
just all tourists, right? It's people coming from all. People think LA is the hotspot to like build. So a lot of people from LA aren't from LA. They live there.
which is problems because they don't identify with the city then.
Right, exactly. But if you're from New York, there's a lot more like, I'm from New York. I'm a New Yorker. I'm from New York. I love New
More
York.
passionate
It's
about
more
New York,
passion
yeah.
from where you live.
Yeah.
Which is funny that we're talking about this because none of us have lived there or know.
No, but I think experiences kind of give you a
Yeah.
clue. Like I know for me, and I know like I don't know. There's certain cultures or certain environments that I really like to be in that I feel suit my personality quite a bit.
Yeah.
Now, if I actually got in that environment and it was consistently in that environment,
I
does
just
that
find
change?
the pressure in New York is different than the pressure in Los Angeles, probably. Hey, in the sense of career.
I don't know.
Like pressure house. So
yeah.
Like I feel like there's obviously blue collar people in LA, but I feel like New York was built on blue collar
yeah.
to a certain extent.
I feel like that's a
obviously.
good point. Yeah.
Like especially now, California is mainly tech owned. I'm sure New York definitely is tech owned,
And not even tech owned, but tech focused too.
and funded.
Well, I even mean, and the people who are trying to build something,
Yeah.
it's probably within like either social media spaces, some sort of tech space too.
Like I'm pretty sure New York has an island that was predominantly made out of trash, which would have been your blue collar guys.
Yeah.
A lot of the businesses that are there are white collar businesses. Well, it's Wall Street, right? So I don't know, but I've like this glorification of New York being this like, if you work hard enough, you can make it.
Like the epitome of like
The American dream.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like New York
relate
is
to
tied to the American dream a lot better than Los Angeles.
Do you think
Yeah.
that comes from like that's probably was established before California because
Yeah.
likely people landed there before
sure.
they went. Yeah.
And I would that in movies and TV shows
Yeah.
tend to glorify you work hard in New York, you can make it.
Yeah. They definitely don't glorify like LA. I feel like right along the lines of like my vision of New York. Obviously, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but my vision of New York is very similar. And then LA, I feel like it's very like I could give less shit as long as I get what I want out of this.
It's very much so. What you're talking.
How do you deal? Like, do you ever like interact with people in that case? Because I mean, just in small interactions with people like that, my brain goes, I do not want to be around this person. But I imagine in your world and going to places like LA or New York with what you do, it's probably like you kind of have to.
Yeah.
I imagine. And do you ever get like someone who's so superficial or so out to space that you're like, this isn't what you're talking about or what you're thinking about isn't the real world. Like you're not dealing in actual.
Yeah. There's in the space that I'm in, there's a lot of like,
You've experienced that though in both cities, haven't you?
yeah, there's a lot of nepotism in the industry that I'm in. So let's say your parents, a lot of these parents are lawyers, or I moved here with my family because my dad's a lawyer at this firm in LA, and he pays for my rent in this big studio space that I live in. But I don't connect with those people. Like I find the people that I'm connecting with all the time are people that are like, have worked here and have similar families to like mine, where it's like you need to work for what you've got. Like one of my best friends, probably one of my best friends in the industry, he's from Las Vegas originally, but he's also he moved to Las Vegas. He lives in Vegas, but he's from DC, and his parents were all involved in the military. They were all very like, you need to work for what you got for. They're not they're not handouts. It's not handouts, right? And so we connect on that level of like we worked for what we got here. We're not Nepo babies. Like
I have a tough time with the Nepo thing. This is just my opinion, but as a hopefully to be a future parent, you want to give your kids the best opportunities to enjoy life to the fullest. So you see kids that have everything paid for, you tend to shit on them because they haven't worked for anything. But meanwhile, that's what their parents wanted so that their kids didn't have to do that. And
right. But the kids often, if they're a nepo kid,
they don't realize it.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah, they don't realize it. Yeah.
Like, let's say your parents have money and you're from a small town, right? You realize that your parents have money and you realize all these things. You're very self-aware about it. Yeah. These kids aren't self-aware, and they'll kind of like live this lifestyle that kind of, oh, I got this. And
it's like unearned.
It's very like, they don't care. They don't care.
They're just disrespectful to the people that have worked for it.
Exactly.
Like our community, like the two communities we're in, I think get shit on a lot, and they can be very protective about opinions or beliefs and stuff like that. But I would say, and I like one thing that is really nice about this community that you notice when you leave it is there is a certain amount of connection and a certain amount of responsibility for the other person, which I think comes with that. Whether your family came from money or not, you kind of need the people around you.
100%.
And if you don't have them, it's gonna hurt you in a way.
Well, that's also because we're still a small community.
Yeah, but there's definitely some super wealthy people in our community.
If those wealthy people left, those plants shut down.
Yeah,
we lose jobs.
Yeah, I think in like, but I think it's as much as people shit on it. I think there is that massive.
You also find that the kids will take over their business as well. There's not a lot of kids leaving to do other things. In that sense,
they have like a sense of responsibility to continue the wealth.
Yeah. I think so too. Like I think and that's complimentary because I think our community in particular does get shit on a lot for a lot of qualities that aren't great. Yeah, but I think it does have a lot of qualities that are really good too.
They only highlight the bad, right?
Yeah. Sometimes they're taken too far where they're so rigid they don't let someone become creative. They don't let someone become this because it's scary.
It's not what's in the cookie cutter formula for our community.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like there's a lot less. How can I take from you? How can I take from you? And how can I just benefit me? And then once I get what I need from you guys, I'm out of here. Like, we finish this podcast, perfect. I'm going to upload it. And if this thing blows up, awesome. See you guys later. I don't even know you guys.
Right.
Like I feel like sometimes you see that in these otother locations.
You're not going to do that?
Through thin, maybe. No, I like. Don't you guys feel that too? Like there is a certain connection to the people around you. As much as sometimes it's bad, like you get stuck in those connections, like we talked about earlier with friends that change. Yep. But you also have connections that if you're on the side of the road, someone is like multiple people. I no joke. Today, a car was stuck, and there was like 4 other people hopping out of their car to help that person.
Maybe they know those people.
I didn't know them. Yeah. And the guy in the car didn't know the other 3 people that were helping. Okay. We kind of knew each other, but we all stopped for separate reasons to help. And I don't know if you get that in every community. I think a lot of people in other communities might have just pulled out their phone and just filmed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going to generalize here, and I'm going to say that's a Canada thing. That's like a Canadian thing to do. Like, if you're in America, I don't think you see a lot of that.
No,
I don't think it's.
I could say in small town America, you
like
would see that.
Could you say like I mean you're on the coast like and then correct me if I'm wrong like are you referencing the 2 coasts? Are you referencing like central like the Midwest or like?
I think as you get in the 2 coasts, I don't think you'd see that. But I think if you would get like down the south and the Midwest, I think you'd probably see that a lot more. But in those 2 coasts, you wouldn't see that. I personally would never move to America. I would never. I don't think I would ever do it. I would probably move somewhere probably close to America in Canada still. I don't know.
I mean, we're 15 minutes from
here,
the border.
Yeah.
We are like, literally almost America.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to walk to the States, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's it's good conversation right there.
Yeah, that's wild. That's pretty sweet.
I got one more thing I want to run by you.
Okay.
This is separate to whatever any other conversation we have. Have you guys noticed that when browsing on like your phone, you get ads through social media and stuff? The ads are never for things you already own or have downloaded.
That's cookies, baby.
Unbelievable that you brought this up. Yes, I have been getting ads for shoes that lift your height 2.5 inches, and I do not know what is going on. I'm a dead even 6'4". I am a dead even 6'4", and I do not need to be any
You're
taller.
not
You're not 6'4", buddy.
What?
I'm
You're
6'3".
not 6'4".
Hey, come on.
I'm
No,
6'3".
no, I'm 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an okay height. That's an average
Yeah, that's
height,
perfect.
right?
I wish I was that height.
Why am I getting ads for shoes that raise my height? I guess what? I guess how far I've gotten. I went to the site and put a shoe in my checkout to see how much it cost.
And how much was it?
It was too much for what.
Well,
and I
that's
thought to
probably why
myself,
you're getting those ads.
yeah, have you seen like the DeSantis things in the States, the boot gate?
Yeah.
That he's got lifts
Yeah,
in his
that's-
shoes. Instantly in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna get these fucking shoes that I didn't want anyways, and I'm gonna stand in them. I'm gonna be like, I look like an idiot right now, and everybody knows it because none of my pants are gonna go to my heels.
Yeah.
No, but I was just like interesting how like I've never seen an ad for Instagram. Never seen an ad for Facebook. I've never seen an ad
Oh, for
Twitter.
the
Like,
platform itself.
the platforms themselves, or even like, for instance, podcasting gear. I've never seen ads for that because they already know that I'm guessing they already know we have that.
That's because
like, I've
actually
never-
a good point.
I've
that-
never seen ads for products that I've already have. Maybe like I've seen ads for products I have that are better than what I currently have, but I've never seen the stuff for the similar product.
Seth, I want your opinion on the no Instagram, no Twitter thing first. I'm developing this theory in my head, but I want to hear his take first.
Okay.
What's your take on like why Instagram doesn't advertise, why Facebook, Twitter, these social platforms? I'm curious of yours too.
You probably don't need to.
They don't need to.
I think it's this. There's no revenue in them advertising.
No.
Like the whole reason they have advertisements on the platform is so they collect revenue from the advertising.
I think there was probably advertisements in like the early days of it, like
for those
Facebook
platforms?
ads, like Instagram ads, like right from the start. But like now, those apps are mainstream. Everybody has those. Why would you need to advertise that?
The biggest one I've seen was dating apps. So I have Tinder installed on my
too.
phone. I've never seen an app for Tinder or an ad for Tinder.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, I'm not in that demographic.
No, but I constantly see ads for Bumble and Hinge.
Really? What about for you? Like, what do you get for advertisements?
Clothes mostly. But I also think you're getting advertisements for companies that aren't top. They're not the top yet. Like, let's say you're getting ads for Bumble or Hinge. Maybe Tinder's the top. Tinder doesn't need to fucking advertise, dude. Like, Bumble needs to advertise. They don't got a lot. They have way less users
Because they're competing with Tinder.
Or maybe they have less users because their platform works.
Hey, everybody pull out your phone. Find the first ad that comes up on your page.
This could be fun. Just on Instagram or
Yeah.
Instagram?
I already seen one, just so you guys. Oh, I got Cloudy. So Cloudy, why is the internet switching to Cloudy? 100 million units sold later. We have a few answers. So Cloudy is, let's see here, melatonin, caffeine, and more. Naturally, smarter, drug-free.
The first ad I got is Arc'teryx.
So mine is a
Clothing
vape.
company.
Mine is a vape for
You like that
vitamins.
company.
I do like that company. Yeah.
Mine's a vitamin vape.
It's a vitamin vape. Interesting.
Yours is what?
Arc'teryx, the clothing company.
Not
What
getting,
kind of clothes? Like, what's the?
It'd be like North Face, like corp gear, like outer,
oh, really?
like Patagonia.
Is that like your thing?
yeah.
I like them. Yeah.
Okay. Can I see some of it? Just out of curiosity.
It's literally just a basic sweater.
We're fucking shouting out these businesses.
Yeah. Oops.
You go on Instagram or where'd you go?
Instagram, yeah.
I'm not getting any ads on
Oh,
Instagram.
that's interesting.
Dude, this is my favorite one. Dude's got no legs, bro. Shout out.
They're trying to sell him pants, probably.
Guy's cold.
I'm just getting the suggested for.
Oh, right. What's that?
No, I follow this.
I'll tell you guys right now, before that advertisement I got there, before the page loaded, as I clicked Instagram, you want to know what the other advertisement was? A&W.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, hell yeah. You guys ever get an A&W ad?
I have not. No.
I will say A&W is one of those businesses that advertises quite
Here we
well,
go.
though. Like on commercials and stuff.
Block Blast.
Just a mobile game.
Just
a mobile game.
How old are you again?
I'm 22, buddy.
Yeah, that checks out. Checks out.
This
Classic
looks
Clans,
fun, dude. This looks fun.
You sound Solic over there?
He's downloading it as we speak.
Clash of Clans. I used to play that game.
I did too. Did you play Tor?
I did play.
It's a good game.
Apparently, there's people out there that are still playing, and
I'd fire that
to the
shit
point
back
where
up.
they've invested like thousands of dollars into it.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel bad for those people.
Yeah. So what was your question again? Did we answer?
Just like, have you ever seen ads for products you already have online?
no.
Yeah.
No.
I've never, or like apps you already have installed. I've never seen them.
Never. No.
I just get ads. Sometimes I get ads for Reebok Club C's, and I have like 3 pairs of them. So I'm
But
good.
it's probably from different suppliers, right?
yeah, it's from different suppliers. Yeah.
and that how do they know? Like how do they know you know what I mean? That you're interested in those?
Cookies.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just
I'm
some
to the-
internet histories.
I don't think so, you guys. I don't know if you guys have heard of Joe Biden, but Theo Vaughn had a podcast with the RFK. I don't know if you guys know this,
Yeah, I
but it got
listened to
taken
it.
down, dude.
I listen to it.
Dana White recently took the Pelotons out
the
of the
gym.
UFC.
Dude, that was the best thing I've ever
unbelievable.
seen. I've
What-
never seen someone so ride or die for his friend.
Oh,
It was great.
Ellie, I got to tell you a story. When I was in LA,
Hang on, Tor, can you leave the room? Because apparently he's going to tell me a story.
we're speaking about podcasts, right?
Okay.
I love Bad Friends, the podcast with Santino and Bobby Lee.
Yeah.
I love it. It's my favorite.
Okay.
I'm in LA. Me and Zach go to this bar. He's like, bro, look over to your left. And I looked over. It's Andrew Santino sitting at Barney's Beanery with his wife and 2 other guys. I'm like, this is wild.
It's a foursome.
I keep looking over there. I keep darting my eyes over there. And I'm like, holy shit, like that's actually him. And so Zach's like, no, dude, this is probably one of the only times in your life that you're going to get to meet him and interact with him. You're going to have to do it. So him and his boy leave the restaurant. They leave me alone in the restaurant, and I have to go out and meet them. And he's sitting in the middle aisle. I go down the middle aisle. I'm like, okay, I have to say something. I got to say something. The roof is low. I'm 6'3". The roof is low, dude. So I'm crouching on my way through the middle aisle. I get to his table. Before I get to his table, there's a ledge that kind of drops down just a little bit more than the restaurant. And I just, boom, I smack my fucking head. I smack my fucking head in front of this guy.
Like
I'm
you're playing
this-
tag in middle school.
this guy, I love this guy. I smack my head. And I look up and I'm like, oh my God, this is fucked. And so I look at him, he looks up to where I'm looking, and he's like, yep, we got to fix that. We're going to fix that. We're going to get that fixed. And I'm like, this is funny. And so me and him exchange a laugh. And I'm just like, I love the podcast. I love Bad Friends. I love what you do.
Yeah.
And then I just dip. And I'm like, it couldn't have been a more perfect interaction than if I didn't bump my head and say hi to him. I think it was a better interaction since
Yeah.
I smacked my fucking head on the roof.
That's unbelievable.
Dude,
How's your head?
It was great.
Do you think, okay, on that topic, do you think in the term, and Tora, I want your opinion too, do you think in the terms of social media and what you consume now, you lean towards interactions like that, like in terms of content, like genuine content,
Yeah.
like not less curated and more authentic? Do you see the market turning that way, or do you see it turning the other way? You're more, I would say you're more established and you're more like in that world than I am, at least.
Like more organic content. Like,
Yeah, like more content where they want to see you smack your head. They want to hear about you smacking your head and kind of being embarrassed.
I'll take Sam Sulek for an example.
Yeah, that's
I'll take he's a huge example of they care about you, not what you're doing. The guy posts a video of him grocery shopping, puts his phone in the cart, and gets 2.1 million views on YouTube.
He posts a video every day, and they have like 400,000+ views every single day.
You also have to understand who that guy is, though, and his
that's what I was
fans.
gonna say, yeah.
Because his fans, I've creeped in those comments. They're
unbelievable.
they're unbelievable.
They're
The guy
toxic.
that and the guy could run for president. I've never seen. They're willing. His
Well,
fans
his
are
fans can't
literally
vote.
willing to. Yeah, they can't vote, but they're willing to die for him.
But do you think
It's
that
crazy.
do you think the reason that hasn't been a more popular thing is because, okay, Sam Sulek can do it, but let's say I'm to do it. Let's say I'm not that interesting of a person, let's just say, right?
Yeah,
Right?
but I think it's
Just
all
wait.
algorithm.
I'm asking if I'm right.
You want
Yeah.
me to correct you?
No. So I'm not that interesting of a person, right?
Yes.
So now I have to produce a product, or I have to manipulate a product to be more entertaining, or manipulate the market a little bit so people will watch it. Where someone like, it's way less likely that someone comes along that's like Sam Sulek that can just be him and will capture an audience.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why you've got like the YouTube and stuff has gotten so like Mr. Beast or
Well, Sam Sulek is also a roid monkey. And he's juiced up and massive at being he's 18.
But look at someone like Sam Sulek who's
people
made that,
aren't idolizing Sam Sulek for his videos; they're idolizing him for his body.
I think they're also idolizing him for his
mentality.
Content. Like his mentality or his personality. But then you get a Bradley Martin, which a lot of his content is curated. So it's like, I'm gonna lift these girls on this bar so you guys will all pay attention to me. Yeah. Sam Sulek's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm just gonna put my phone in my car. I'm just going to talk to you.
Yeah.
I think the difference between Bradley Martin and Sam Sulek is Sam Sulek is 18 years old. 18 years old. There's a lot of young kids that want to be where he's at
young.
18 years old.
He is young, yeah.
Right? Bradley Martin's probably in his 30s. They don't really want to hear information from a guy that's been there, done that. They want to hear a guy
who's on the same
playing field as them. 18. Like, That's what's wild to how big he is. How old is he?
21.
21.
Which is it's
Still
not that
same-
much different.
same thing.
It's the same thing.
I'm curious what he'll look like when he's 30.
That's the other concern, for me at least, in the kind of in that fitness world is, and this is one thing that I try to get across because I experienced the same thing, is when I was young, I looked up to like these people on YouTube, like this chunk of fitness influencers or whatever, and I'm like, I'll follow their workouts, I'll do their thing. Let's say they train you watch them for 3 years. Eventually their training style. So let's say Sam Sulek he's abusing substances for sure to get as big as he is, and his training style and stuff. Well, he's making tons of money off that. So in 3 years, when he tears a bicep and he disappears, he's made his money. And if he's smart, he's pivoted in that time.
Yeah.
Well, then that kid watches him, follows all his things. He gets hurt. He disappears. They go on to the next person. Let's say in the meantime, while they're watching the next person, they tear a bicep. Well, guess what? You make $0 off of this. You follow these guys, you make $0.
Yeah.
So now you're hurt. You can't train anymore. And then now you're done. Now what do? You're just left to sit at home and kind of mope in your injury.
Yeah.
Where like sometimes the Sam Sulek, even though he's genuine, I think there needs to be a balance of like, hey guys, like this guy is doing these things that could end up this way. Maybe they won't, and don't pass judgment on it. But just be aware of this.
He'll have some financial backing, or like hopefully.
Yeah, because if shit hits the fan, he's still gonna have his money. He's still gonna have
his market.
Yeah, he's still gonna have somewhat of his market, and if he's smart, he's gonna pivot on that market. Where you kid who's watching him and following everything, maybe it's a good idea to step back.
You're just working a 9 to 5, and you're working heavy.
Yeah, and if you follow everything he's saying, you don't have the risk to reward that he does. If he keeps risking it, he keeps getting all this money.
But you could also say that he never did in the beginning anyways. He just risked it enough until he got it.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that people like about him too, is like there was never a point where he's like, I'm going to make this content so I can blow up. Yeah. It was like, I'm going to make a video every single day. I'm not going to cut or edit almost anything. Yeah. Like from your perspective, because your production, I think, is very good. Your color grading is really good, and your narrating and the way you set up your videos is really good. I think it's genuine too. But does it ever frustrate you from the perspective of you see a Sam Sulek and you're like, what the fuck? Like, how does this work?
Yeah, but I'm never putting myself in that category of Sam Sulek. Like
two different markets.
Also, the fitness industry is probably a lot less saturated than the fashion industry.
Is there anybody in your industry that you could compare to that?
Yeah,
like that just would just know.
Oh yeah, 100. There's a lot of guys that I'm like, man, these guys don't do as much work as I do. Blah 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 blah. But that doesn't matter. Like,
what's the difference? Like, why do you continue to like? Why don't you ever go that route?
Because long term stuff, like. If you make high quality videos and you put a lot of work into them and you try to give value in every video,
you're gonna
last longer than the guys that make. Okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say a guy makes videos on his phone for a year, and a guy makes really high quality videos on his camera for a year. this guy that's like recording on his phone is gonna eventually get to a camera, but he's also not gonna be as good as you with a camera. You're already with a camera. Like there's this, you're like long term, you're probably gonna be better.
Yeah.
Do you think too, like you're, as much as let's say someone who's in that authentic, genuine area, you're authentically and genuinely interested in color grading, setting up good lighting, setting up good, like, do you think that's also a thing too? Like where people, there's a separation of the person who's into good lighting and production, but he's like, actually, I don't give a shit about this. I'm just trying to capture 1,000 followers or 100,000 followers. Right. Where the next guy's like, you know what? I'm going to get 100,000, but I'm going to learn how to do this stuff, or I'm going to find someone. I'm going to kind of figure out different things around this, and they're passionate about that. Right. What's your take, Tor?
I just got to. So for the instance, the guy that is just filming on his phone for a year versus the guy with a camera, wouldn't like. What I've noticed is the guy that's just filming on his phone is building an audience a lot faster. Yeah. Wouldn't those people that have built that, he's got a bigger audience because he's on his phone, wouldn't that audience stick with him if he tried transitioning to a camera anyways?
It's true. Yes. It is. Yeah. I mean, it's all like.
But his passion may not lie in the camera, discovering, hey, how does this camera work? And I feel like, I don't know about you, but
do you enjoy making your videos?
That's what I should say too.
Like nicer and like taking the time to do all this editing and stuff, or do you wish you could just put it up all on a phone? And
I'm gonna be honest, I wish I could record on a phone and get 1 million views.
Yeah.
But it's just not like that for me.
Now I'm gonna ask another question, because I think for me when I was younger, there's certain things that paid off later. Yeah. Do you think in the back of your head, the learning the color grading, learning the production is going to somehow, like you're like, hey, I might as well learn this because it's a tool or it's a skill that in the meantime I can learn anyways, that does have some benefit. Maybe I don't know what it is, but could have some benefit.
100%.
I'd say so too.
Like, let's say I do this work on the camera and people are doing work on the phone. Okay, maybe your thing on social media doesn't work out so well, but you've gained skills from social media, like working with cameras and working with DaVinci Resolve or working with any of these programs that you need to make contact with a camera on. That's skills that people look for in other jobs.
That's what I was curious of. Like, does it open just because you haven't just posted a video on YouTube? Sure, you know how to upload a video. Sure, you know how to, do the little steps to get people to engage in it. But not only like cool, but if that YouTube channel ever fades, or if that resource ever fades, you have no other skills.
Yeah, exactly. Like I learned it because I'm like, you know what? These skills are good to have anyway.
And it just increases your production.
It looks better. Maybe I'm not getting as much views, but it's the skills that I'm gaining along the way. Like,
it's a feather in your cap.
Yeah, exactly. It's a feather in your cap.
Torrie, from your perspective, in terms of like the things you watch and the things you engage in, does it tend to be the more genuine content, or does it tend to be the produced content, or is it somewhere in the middle?
It would all be genuine content, just because TikTok is mainly my source of entertainment on my phone.
Like if you get to a video that you can clearly see, like and I think you can pick this up too. It's like the idea of like, I think there was a study on people standing in front of things they didn't own, because that was a huge thing for a while. Let's say a private jet. Right. There was a study on that, like people could pick up that this wasn't their private jet.
Oh, for sure.
Do you think that that's a thing too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Because faking it till you make it only works so long, right? You can. That sounds stupid, but
I think that's. You know what I mean? I don't think that's stupid.
You can tell when people are faking it for sure.
And I think I know from my personal experience, I can tell when I'm faking it. And I mean, as soon as the camera comes on, that is an incredibly hard thing to be like, how can I be genuine now that I know this is being like, like this is way easier and we're just sitting here talking. But when you're trying to create a piece of content, for me at least, is way harder to be like, how can I be me? And like obviously be entertaining, because you have to amp things up a little bit, but still keep parts of yourself.
But then again, you look at podcasts, right? Podcasts are a mix of production and genuine conversation. So I think there is a balance between like over the top production and genuine, because podcasts exist.
But do you think that's why podcasts are like absolutely destroying radio, and like YouTube is absolutely destroying
Just people
TV?
sitting down having genuine conversations.
Because they're like, hey, like it almost breaks that wall of like this pretend world, and it's just
you're not broadcasting to the masses. Like we obviously are broadcasting to the masses, but it's not.
Shout out Thic and Thin, baby.
You're going to develop your fans, right?
Yeah.
And your fans are going to stick with you through thick and thin, hopefully. So you don't really have to
Was
care.
that a plug? Dude?
So you don't have to care about like what's on your channel because you know your fans will be watching anyways.
So
versus like Fox, they have to make sure that they're putting this specific content out all the time because they'll lose their right-wing viewers.
So the pandering.
Yeah.
Like a podcast gives you the if you do it right, gives you the opportunity to say, hey, this is me.
Yeah.
And if all of a sudden the people like watching, you do something, maybe whatever, they're like, hey, that was them like from the beginning. So you can kind of be like, yeah, maybe you fucked up or maybe you said something that some people didn't agree with, but you can say, hey, this has been me since the beginning.
Yeah.
So,
or your fans even see you watch you grow as well. Mm-hmm. Like as you put out more podcasts, they'll see, oh, they're getting smarter in how they're wording things versus what they were doing before. So that way, if let's say something does come up, they end up getting shunned from society. They'll be like, well, that's not who they are now anymore.
and I think that's a great example actually of this podcast. Even though like it's still growing, it's not massive, it's not anything special. Mm-hmm. I mean, to me, it's special because I get to do it with people I like. Yeah. But at the same time, where we started from, with 2 computer gaming mics that sounded like absolute shit. Me sitting on a computer trying to figure this out, you thinking of topics to talk about, all that stuff. To now, we sit in that room. And we have lights, we have a soundboard, we're sitting down with another person and we have 3 mics going. Could you imagine having 3 mics going in that first one?
Oh, it would have been
how
rough.
bad that would have been.
Organize that all? Yeah, that would have been shitty. But no, it's fun to do it as you go and learn as you go, and people will grow as you grow.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
What's your thoughts on that, Seth? Like in terms of like,
did you hear what we were talking about?
Like people growing with you, even in terms of, I know in terms of your content, because I remember your content when you were just a little shyster. Yeah. Like we were talking about this podcast in terms of like, we had 2 gaming mics and now we're sitting here with a full soundboard, 3 actual decent mics. You have lighting in here and now we have lighting in the podcast room. Do you think that like people growing with you has benefited your growth as well?
Yeah, I mean, the people that grow with you are going to stick with you forever.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the people that were with me since I started filming content on my phone outside on a fucking, like, a cooler on top of a stool are still with me now. And it's like they've grown, like, this appreciation for the process, I think, which is nice. Yeah, they're more genuine, for sure. I don't know how to...
And they're not, hopefully not right to shun you or be like, no, no, we're not, I don't agree with that right. Well,
I think also...
It's them being human. They made mistakes.
Yeah, human. I hear the human aspect I think is massive. But I obviously I'm not in the world of like substantial amount of eyes on us. Right. I don't think.
Yeah.
Like... The reason podcasting is so much bigger than radio, the reason YouTube is so much bigger than TV is because people see this content and have some hope and they see something in it where they're like, you know what? Maybe I could do that. Maybe
relatable.
I could do this thing. And maybe, well, what does he do? Or like, it's very relatable. If you're watching Fox News, you know they have a crew, that you know they have cameramen, that you know they have a crew, that you know they have a screen in front of them that they're reading off of. It's like...
And how much the money you assume is invested in that too.
Or like TV shows. It's like they all have this huge crew and nobody really... It doesn't register in their mind. What registers is I can't ever get to that point where if you're watching YouTube and you're watching some guy roll around in his grocery cart, you're like... Hey, that's super real. I can do that too. Like I could do that. And so it's this point of people realizing that maybe they can do that.
Which then gains momentum for people to start doing more.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is why YouTube and podcasts are probably growing so much. Is that it's more accessible than a Fox News thing.
Okay, so my question is then, and I kind of have my theory on this. So you get an Andrew Tate who comes along. He's got a Bugatti, 2 Bugattis. He's got 4 Ferraris. He's got a $1 billion business, right? How does his content blow up? I have my theory on it, but I want to hear, I'm curious what you guys think.
The reason his content blows up is because nothing blows up more from Andrew Tate than his take on like very right-wing conservative views.
He picked a good time to start a podcast. I think it was very calculated into when he was doing it, because this was probably right when lockdowns were happening, right? People were very tense. They were looking for someone to speak out on what they thought. And it was a lot of young men that were falling for Tate there. And because they were at home, they weren't in school, they weren't getting educated, they were just taking content. They saw some guy throwing wild takes out there that they could resonate with and they felt just as pissed off as he was.
Yeah.
I think like my thought on there, and I totally agree with you, Tor, and Seth too. Like my thought is that there was a whole movement before that COVID thing, like of women empowerment and all this stuff. And I think it got taken too far, where there's like a whole group of guys. Like I think
that felt like they were getting kicked.
They were getting kicked and they were getting forgotten about. And they were vulnerable. And now this person comes along and they do, like, I think he does have some opinions and some thoughts that are valid and are good.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them get taken too far, or maybe some of his activities aren't the greatest, but I think it spoke to that and it took advantage of that. And it presented an image, like you said, Tor, like they didn't have any other resource. They were stuck at home and they're like, oh, this guy is at least giving me a solution that maybe if I follow this direction, I'm going to feel better about myself.
When really he was just selling a product.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I think there's probably a mix between the two. Like, I think, and maybe this is a hot take, I think some of his stuff, there's like the basis of his stuff of like, hey, take ownership, have discipline, do something for yourself, take care of yourself, take care of the things around you, try and do more, I think is really good. I think he says some stuff is like, that's like inflammatory on purpose. Because he's selling some stuff. And then I honestly think he loses people because of that.
For sure.
That if he just dove into like, hey, like, you know what? It's probably a good idea for you to take care of yourself, because if you can take care of yourself, you're going to feel better.
Yeah.
I think there's value in that. But then all of a sudden you say, take care of yourself. And if a bitch comes to your car, you don't fucking let her drive. It's like, what the fuck? Like that, okay, you lost me now.
Yeah. Okay.
Andrew Tate is not famous for his Bugatti. He's not famous because he's rich, and he's not famous because, like, name a stock that Andrew Tate is invested in.
But do you think? I think he's famous because of those things. Because how many young guys associate those things, especially when they're kicked down, they're represented with a North Star. They're like, if I can get the Bugatti, if I can get the $1 million, if I can wear cool sunglasses and I have a shaved head, and I don't give a shit, then one, I can't be hurt because they've been hurt in the past. We've all told stories about getting hurt in the past. Yeah. And two, I'm going to get as much as I want out of the world because I've been fucked over. Yeah. So I think that Bugatti does play a role. I don't think it's a good one.
No. Yeah. I think he's famous for his mindset. He's not famous for what he has.
I think that's correct.
Like, do you think that though in the aspect of like the mindset in terms of the best parts of him, the best parts of like the
worst parts of him are why he's famous, I think.
You think, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All the clips that blown up for are all takes that were relatively hot near the end.
Do you disagree with all of them?
No, I don't. No, I definitely don't disagree with all of them, but all the ones that I've seen that have blown up start off really good. and then at the end, when with the closer, it's like something ridiculous.
Or the opposite. Or starts really ridiculous
hot,
and then get a good take. Yeah.
Another thing is there's a lot of people out there that can't take things from what's being said. They just take it with what is they take it as fact.
Yeah, they're not able to critically think about it and take pieces.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know what? If you can be good at something, if you can better yourself,
Yeah.
you might be more viable to women and
To society
You
as
might be a
well.
better husband.
Yeah.
You might have all these qualities. He kind of advertises that, but then subtracts from it. Like it's like take 2 steps forward, take 2 steps back,
Yeah.
kind of idea.
I also thought when I first saw Andrew Tate, I thought it was Pitbull. So I was like, holy shit, Mr. Worldwide, what happened?
Yeah, I could definitely see Pitbull doing the same thing.
I was like,
the guy's
wow.
probably kicking himself right now. He's like, I fucking missed the mark.
Yeah, crazy.
Mr. 305.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, what we were talking about at the start of this podcast, he's coming back, dude.
Oh yeah, Pitbull's coming.
Actually, you
back.
know what?
Pitbull never
honestly,
left.
He never left.
He was
Pitbull
just at the
never
Calgary
left.
Stampede.
Pitbull
man.
never left, man. I still love Pitbull.
Yeah, you can bump Pimple.
Yeah.
Pimple.
Pimple. You can bump a pimple. Yeah.
That
Pitbull's
topic
great.
is so interesting too, and I think like for young people, like I think it's the same demographic that follows Sam Sulek that would invest in Tate.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think the people who are beyond that, like who are maybe a little bit older, it drives me crazy that they can say, hey, Andrew Tate is a like piece of shit. He's all these things, but they're unable to sit back and say, okay, how did he market this? How did he get this big?
It's the
What did
same
he
thing
do?
with Logan Paul.
You know, like remove the person, remove the shit they say, and take a step back and say, but hey, if we're being honest, this person, he was the most Googled person on the internet. How did he get to that point? Is there any pieces that I can take from that and remove the shit from it?
Like critical thinking. Like everybody hated Logan Paul at one point, and even I hated the Paul brothers, dude. These guys were fucking annoying, dude.
Hated?
Not hated, but like
I still I honestly still dislike.
I didn't like them, right? At some point I took a step back. I'm like, wow, Jake Paul and Logan Paul are probably the best marketers on the planet Earth. On the planet Earth, dude. Yeah. These guys went from YouTube personalities to now Jake Paul's fighting. Everybody watches.
They were
Jake
originally
Paul's
Disney
fights.
personalities.
Like Disney personalities.
Yeah.
Like
they marketed well.
these guys are insane at marketing. Like
remove their opinions,
like them or
their-
hate them.
Yeah.
These guys are good at something. And they're good at that. And if you can take any little piece of that, what they're doing, take that.
See, but the piece that drives me crazy, and maybe you guys can relate to this, the piece that drives me crazy is they do that. We can all, you can pick up on it if you're critical thinking, but when they get on someone's podcast, which is supposed to be genuine and authentic, and they pander to them. They
Right.
pander to their things. They don't say, hey, Logan Paul, you ripped a ton of people off with your zoo coins. Hey, Jake Paul, like you're
fighting retired fighters.
You're fighting retired fighters. Nobody, like some people don't push back on that and they pander to that.
Yeah.
And then for me, it kills it because it's like, hey, you know what they're doing, or you pick up on their really good marketers. Grab that, but also like call the bullshit when you see the bullshit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%. 100%. Yeah. Jake Paul's fighting retired fighters and Logan Paul. Honestly, I like Logan Paul, dude.
Are we fighting tonight? Out of curiosity, me and you. Last Fiesta night,
Last
dude.
Fiesta night, we fought.
Cinched you up.
And guess what? You never got it.
I was close though. We went through a whole McDonald's drive-through.
Where was I?
In the car.
Were you in
I
the car?
was in the car?
Yep. In the back seat.
Shit.
Shout out Fiesta night, dude.
That'll be a good time, eh?
We're gonna head there and we're gonna have a good time.
Probably close that out if we want to get there.
Do you want to close out, Tor?
Yeah, we can do that.
Let's do it.
Thanks for listening to today's episode, guys. Hope you really liked it. Hopefully have Seth on another one if you guys continue to support this version of Thick and Thin. Yeah, thanks for listening. Give us a like, comment,
Subscribe, baby.
subscribe. Yeah.
Share it with your friends, and we're out.